Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legion Duban. At least I think its name is Duban, and that's kind of how it sounds. It seemed like that would probably be the best way to say it, so that's what we're going to go with. So anyway, this is now my third Mythic Legions that I picked up in about a month's time. I wanted to pick one up. So many people had asked me, are these things even worth it? What are your thoughts on them? Have you ever had one? And I figured, hey, you know what? I need to review one and see if a $50 price point is actually worth it. Well, getting my third one in about a month at $50 a pop, I'd probably say I'm leaning on the side of, I think they're pretty good. So, started with this guy over here. And then I went to the Stratos Homage Xenathon here. So obviously after getting the first one, I tried a second one, and now I'm going for a third one. I'll tell you this, very rarely am I going to go with a figure or a line for a third time if I think the first two are garbage. So I've heard a lot of good things about this guy. This was the one that I was on the fence of. This one was Xenathon, and I went with him. I just wanted to pick this one up. It looks like he has a lot of good stuff. I've seen a lot of good things about him, so I said, hey, you know what? Let's just get to it. So anyway, this is the Mythic Legions here. Okay, so the overall aesthetic of just looking at it, it's nothing special. You obviously have the back, you know, you have the background that their stuff tells you Mythic Legions, gives you a little bio on the guy, and then you can see everything. What I love is that it's in this slip case. So we can just open this up, slide it out. Sure, there's a couple wires that we're gonna have to cut to get them out, but not really that big of a deal. But I love the fact that I can pop this out, throw them back in here, and I think any exclusive, like the Mattel Creations exclusive, they all should come like this. We're paying a good amount. We pay money to have it shipped. I mean, these figures are already expensive as it is. I like this. I can pop it back in if I'm in a box collector, if I ever want to sell it later on, or just package it to move it or whatever. So anyway, again, looking at everything, there is the back here. It's the same as everything that I've seen before, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's open him up. Let's take a look at him, and let's see if he's really worth the $50 price point that I thought the other two were. I hope so, because I don't have money just to throw $50 away. Alright, so now I got this guy out. I have not posed him or anything like that, and I have to say, in this package here, there is a good amount of stuff. As you can see, everything that's kind of laid out. And I have to say, I love the way this opens up. It's real easy. Again, two strings or metal bands to hold them in place. Really nice. Some tape to hold everything on. And then everything else is packaged in its own plastic covering, like the cloak and the eagle and these weapons. So let's just take a look at everything. I gotta say, just looking at this, he comes with a bunch of stuff, and I have to say, $50 is expensive, but it seems like this is really worth it. So this is just a little note in here stating that, you know, joints on the Mythic Legion figures can become tight after production. When posing Mythic Legions figures for the first time, especially during cold weather, it's recommended that you heat the form. Heat in the form of warm air from a hairdryer or warm water be used. So this is something we've seen before, and I know it caused a huge issue back with Valiverse Series 1. Not a big deal. When people sit there and say, hey, I should never have to warm my figures, that's bullcrap. It is really, really known amongst higher end lines that sometimes you just have to heat stuff up. So if you see that, you shouldn't think anything about it. If someone's telling you that you shouldn't ever have to, I hate to say it, but they are wrong. So quickly we'll take a look at it. He does come with, it looks like, I can't count right now, 4 sets of hands. So we have the 2 thumb wrestling hands. We got 2 open gripping hands, the 2 fist punching hands, and then 2 more thumb wrestling hands. So my guess would be that these hands go in separate ways. So this one is more for sword, It's going to move back and forth. I bet this one moves. Yep. So these ones move in and out. So if you ever look and you ever wonder why you have two sets of the exact same type of hands, if I could find the other one, this one right here, it has to do with how the wrist joint is. Which in a good figure that's going to have a sword, you definitely want to have the wrist that moves back and forth, not side to side. All right, so we'll leave this off right now. So quickly we'll take a look. He has this really sweet looking crossbow. It's got an actual rubber band string that you can pull back to right here and make it flick. So I think that looks really nice, pretty cool. Now he's gonna hold this like not a prehistoric weapon, but an old-time weapon here. This is what's actually going to trigger it, rather than having an actual handle. So I do wonder how well he's going to hold this. I would say it looks like one of these hands is meant to hold that. He comes with this cloth cape or cloak, and I gotta say it looks pretty big. It's got a bendy wire on the inside. Looks like we're gonna pop this off, pop his head off, throw this over it if you want to have it on, which it looks like he's meant to have it. So it does come with a nice sword here. So it's in the sheath. It's going to clip onto this back here. And quickly looking at it, I feel like I'm not getting the greatest light right now. You can tell that it's painted brown here. It's got this silver gray on it. It slides out. It's got a real nice, I would say, gunmetal silver blade to it. The handle here has crosses through it, which is obviously like a leather strap, so it's holding on to it. It is brown, so it only has two different colors. I think it looks really nice. It is extremely straight, I would say. And if it's like the other Mythic Legions, it's pretty sharp. It does have a little bit of flex to it, but again, pretty pokey. I want to slide this right back into here. Now, you got these shoulder pauldrons they're going to go over. Looks like they're just going to pop right in. So that looks nice. Then we have this eagle, which doesn't have any type of articulation, but has what I would say is some amazing paint to it. Let's stop this for a second, go to 4K. All right, so I switched it to 4K because the color in this is just wonderful. I don't always like using the 4K because it just uses up so much so much space on the phone. But looking at here, I mean, it looks very realistic, and the paint is just amazing. The eyes look wonderful. Beak has nice paint. Man, this thing has so many paint apps on it. Even on the bottom, the wings look nice and textured. Now, it does not come off. That's unfortunate. I really wish this would have come off, but oh well, it's meant to be on his arm. And then when you look at the back, it has a real nice eagle, spread eagle wings. But just looking at all those colors, man, they just look really good. It's one thing I have to say so far with the Mythic Legions. Paint is what you're paying for. You're paying for the sculpt, and you are paying for the amazing paint that you're going to get. So let's just put this to the side. We have a dagger that I didn't even notice was here, to be honest with you. So again, it only has 3 different paint apps. You have the handle, which is like this gray, but in certain light, it comes off as green. The silver blade, and then you got a little bit of either dark brown or black right around there. So let's pull the figure up, and let's take a look at him now. So just quickly looking at him, obviously doesn't have a hand right now because I popped it off. Take a look at everything, and there's his T-pose. Now I didn't warm him up, so we are in Michigan. It's going up and down. It's about 50 degrees. So no issues there. You get a good 90 degree. Now, these are not double jointed, but they don't have pins. They're all pinless. Again, 90 degrees here. Knees are 90 degrees. Ankles rock back and forth. I like these boots much better than these pointy armored feet here. That looks good. Again, don't have anything to worry about here. If we lift it up, you're going to see it does have a thigh swivel, which is integrated extremely nicely. Now, this is not cloth. This is a rubber, but it's smooth enough that I don't have to worry about it breaking. Now, you don't get too much, from what I can tell. I'm not going to press this. You don't get too much of a Jean-Claude Van Damme. So that is disappointing, but articulation is not the greatest with the Mythic Legions, but as I mentioned, the sculpt is what you are looking at. The paint is what you are buying when it comes to these figures, because I think that these are absolutely wonderful. So now let's quickly take a look at it before we kind of armor him up. So, the question is, let me pop the head off here. So it does not look like it comes out of this. So here's the head here. And it kind of sucks that he has this on and you can't just have his head showing. But if I'm wrong, someone tell me exactly how you can get this off. But I don't think that you can. So the face here looks extremely nice. It's kind of hidden underneath the hood of his cloak. He has a nice, wonderful beard. His eyes look amazing. I would say they're like this greenish. You can see his eyebrows. It's kind of hard to see throughout this. Then you got this nice detail, and again, this is not cloth. This is just all plastic, molded around. I don't believe the head is molded onto it, but you definitely can't access it. And then we'll look at his armor. And just looking at this, I mean, it looks like this is cloth, and this is just rubber. I mean, the texture on that looks absolutely amazing. But the paint on it, I mean, it makes it look like it is supposed to be. I mean, it makes it look like it's supposed to be cloth. You have this wonderful armor right here. Some paint apps that are going to run around here. But the detail on it just looks amazing. I know how many times can I say that, but it's absolutely true. Here he has his belt. No issues looking at all that paint. It just looks extremely nice. And all this is painted. So every single one of these is painted. I don't see any defects in it. Maybe this one here, maybe it's missing a little bit. And then you get to the back here, same thing. And again, it lifts up, so it's nice and smooth, nice and soft. You don't have to worry about it breaking if you push it through like some other companies might do. Get to the shin guards. And even up here, you can see how baggy the pants are supposed to look. They look clothish. And then you have your shin guards. I think it looks really nice. And I like the boots. They really have a leather style feel to them. They almost look like a nice dress shoe that you could wear. All right, so let's try and load him up. I'm really interested to see how this is going to work. So on the back here, you just have the pegs, so we can throw on his, yeah, it's me. I lost my train of thought. His shoulder guards. You know, it's kind of funny. I took my daughter to gymnastics, and this lady had these really, really puffy, that's fun, puffy outfit on, and she was like, "What is that?" Like those are shoulder pads, and she's like, "People still wear those?" She's 14. I know, you're just like, I guess so. I mean, I think it was part of the outfit. Now, I'm thinking I might need to warm this up to get this to pop in. Oh, there we go. So we got that in. You just kind of have to wiggle it. This is a soft rubber or soft plastic. More like a rubber, to be honest. Again, it looks battle damaged. I like that. Are they the exact same? Nope, they look like they're molded different, so it's just not just thrown in there. So it's two different, so it's the same mold, just reversed. All right, I'm going to throw this up here. And if anyone sees anything that I need to correct, that because you've handled Mythic Legions, feel free to jump in the comments. Tell me something that I might have missed, because I am still new to this. And I'm trying to give, again, a look at how, when you open this up, exactly how everything is going to come off looking. So here we have the wonderful looking cape. This one looks like it's going to go on, this video looks like it's going to go on for quite some time. So I hope you guys are bearing with me here. So just give a little pull here. I would assume we start here. Ooh, this might not be fun. This might be one of those ones where you dread watching. You're going to sit there and you're going to wait around. Alright, well, it seems like it pops on actually pretty well. Easier than I thought it was going to go on, because this is, when you see how that fits on there, I thought that this was really going to obstruct the head or the neck kind of punching down. But I don't think it does at all. I think it looks pretty darn nice, to be honest. So there you have this. Now, I did see someone else mention this, and I gotta say, even though it's not the exact same color, I'll lift this up here. Now, looking through 4K, you can kind of see the difference, but I would say in person, matching the hood to the cape or the cloak is pretty close. I don't have too much stuff that is cloth. I don't have any mezco yet. But looking at it from the front, I don't see any issues. I think it looks extremely nice. So let's pop this hand off. That just goes right over. All right, let's widen this a little bit. Back it up a little bit. So I'm going to throw that there. Throw this hand right back on it. And now you have this wonderful eagle that he can kind of have just land right on him. Obviously, I didn't put his hand back on him yet, but it's hidden, so you can't see it. So I think that looks absolutely awesome. I mean, this is, I guess, your spirit of the line. I'll pop this off. The sword here, I would say, is supposed to go over here. Hard to say. Someone is going to have to correct me. It can't go, obviously, in the back. So I'm guessing it's just going to hang right down here. Like that. So, let's find out how well. So this is technically your trigger finger, I guess is how you would call that. And it does pull out. And remember, pull out is not a method that you want to use to protect yourself. So pop this thing on here. And it's going to take a little bit of posing. I'm not going to go through and make you guys watch that. But it does fit in his hand. It's going to take a little bit of time. I don't believe this is going to be anything that's easy to just pose right away, just because you don't have a handle. So this is one of those ones you're going to be taking some time, but for the look of it and for the price of $50, I think it's really good. Let's pop this off and we'll grab, so I can find the sword hand. So this is your sword hand, again, because the sword hand moves up and down like this. You pop the sword out, And actually slid in there extremely nice, really easy. And here now you have him. Again, I did not put the hand back on him, but again, it's hidden by the cloak. And you're going to have him walking through your forest. I need to get a forest background. You know, I got this, you know, the arcade, and then I got some warehouses. So I need to get, I guess, some new backgrounds with all these mythical creatures. But hey, all that stuff costs money. Anyway, so there you have a look at your Duban, which I think looks absolutely awesome. Let's throw the hand on him, or the eagle on him. Let's throw the hand on him, which looks like an eagle. And here, you know, actually I think, ooh, let's throw him around. Hit that sword, but I think, I mean, if I was having an eagle land on me, or whatever type of mythical bird this is, if it's not that, I don't know anything about their lore, I think I'd want a fist. So it kind of looks like you're holding that out. And there he is kind of landing right on it. And again, look how, this figure looks absolutely amazing. I mean, I can only say so much good about these Mythic Legions so far. And there you go. There's your Duban. That is my first-hand review, and you're seeing exactly what you're going to get when you open it up. It's going to take time to pose. Again, not exactly like a classified where it's real easy. So let's wrap this up. All right, so that's my review of the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Duban, and just a quick look at it. You've seen what I've seen, spent 20 minutes with it. I have to say that of the figures that I've gotten, this probably looks to be my favorite. There's something really nice about the cloth cape, the eagle. I think he comes loaded with a lot of nice accessories that I think it makes him definitely worth the price that you're going to pay. I know when people look at $50, they think that's just too much for an action figure. In many ways, I think they're right. Okay, so looking at it, so it looks like his his sword goes through there, through both loops, and then it kind of clips in there. There's a little clip right there. Didn't realize that. So, and the only reason why I didn't say the name of his sheath is because I couldn't think of it. But again, this way you get first-hand reaction. This is what you're paying for. You're not paying anything. But I like this figure. I want to drop him. Again, so far, 3 Mythic Legions. 3, not 4, 3. I think they're wonderful. They're pricey, they're expensive, but when you start getting into these higher end small companies, this is what you're going to pay for. Now, I've talked to a few people, I've heard from a few people that they say, hey, you know, for that price, the articulation should be better. And I tend to agree to a point. When I'm looking at these figures so far, the 3 that I have, you are paying for the sculpts that you're doing. I don't believe there's a lot of reuse in the sculpts. The paint, which is pretty much immaculate, you're not going to have the owner come out and say, oh, well, you know what are we supposed to do? You know, we got to just send it out. No, their stuff looks amazing, immaculate. I don't want to put down, you know, other companies that also do a good job. I don't want to say there aren't other companies, but this is a, you know, a small company, their own personal IP. So I think it just looks awesome. Do I think it's the best one that I held? I want to say yes. The cloth cape, the bird, the crossbow, which, I mean, really does look nice. I didn't go over it too much. Probably should have. Again, they're just kind of straps there. Now, it doesn't actually actuate. You have to pull it, but it also doesn't give you any arrows. So should I complain about that? No. Though they probably should give you an arrow. I think the arrow's supposed to be hidden inside of it, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. But that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I think I've rambled on long enough. If you stuck around, I definitely do appreciate it. I did pick this one up also from Sergeant Red's in Utica, Michigan. If you're in the area, if you're ever in Michigan, in the Detroit area, and you want to find a really, really good toy store, check them out. Or you know what, you can always hit me up on Instagram and say, hey, you know what, I'm in the area, where should I go? I'm more than happy to point you in the direction of the stores that I like. I just realized that I probably had that up like that the whole time. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Before I leave, you know the deal. You know the social medias. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, A Punk with Toys. Facebook group page, Punks with Toys. Join it. Enjoy it. Have fun. You can also watch the lives from there if you do choose. But I'm going to get out of here. Before I leave, you know the deal. Take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Mythic Legions video. And it just dawned on me, I actually didn't say that at the beginning. So, hey, if you're still here and you're not subscribed, why not? But before I get out of here, I'm going to point you to the Mythic Legions playlist. And then I'm going to point you to the Xenathon that I recently did. Take care, guys.